Of all the horror movies to get a sequel, this is the one they thought was a good idea. This one, fucking hell. Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight 2 is a Netflix original from Poland and is a sequel to, wait for it, Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, which, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, and if you are, thank you for tuning in, and even if you are familiar with my channel, I feel the need to remind you that Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight was my worst movie of last year by far, and this one is my worst movie of 2021, so that pretty much spoils how I felt about the movie. I'll get into spoilers in a little bit. I didn't expect much from this movie, and my expectations were in the goddamn floor, and somehow weren't even fucking met. In fact, they weren't even in the floor, they were almost in the Earth's core, and they somehow managed to not even rise above those. Now, Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight had a bunch of stupid people going out at a Polish camp and getting killed because they didn't have access to their technology. Well, they were in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and they were attacked by mutants that were, mutated and created because of this weird meteorite and everything, and we follow the lore of that in this sequel that takes place pretty much in the immediate aftermath, so they're really trying to create a goddamn franchise out of this. Since it's Polish, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce any of the actors or directors' names, because guess what? I screw up English names enough as it is, so I'm not going to try to do it here. Now, I'll do some of the characters, but not the actors. One character returns from the first one. If you haven't seen Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, you're going to kind of be lost as to what goes on here, but you're also probably not going to care even if you did see Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight, because this is basically just Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight DLC. It doesn't really do anything. It tries to expand on the lore, and by doing so actually manages to be worse than the first one, which I thought was fucking impossible. So the story, such as it is, there really isn't much of a goddamn story. I think it's a few days, or maybe even a week afterwards. I mean, I don't know how the police work is in Poland, but apparently they don't clean up crime scenes very quickly. So, there's a rookie cop who must stop a series of violent acts because of shit be going down. Shit be going whack, yo, as the kids say. I believe that's how the kids talk. And there's an opening dream sequence where he's imagining himself being this tough cop rescuing a tied-up Polish blonde girl from a bunch of Victorian vampires. Oh, I see. It's okay when Victorian vampires tie up a Polish blonde girl. But anyway, moving hastily on from that, it turns out it's a dream. This guy, Adam, he basically is a cop that's pretty much just stepped on. He's a rookie cop, but he's berated by his sergeant. There's this, shopkeep guy that factors in a little bit later into the movie that is kind of a dick. And also this blonde girl named Vanessa. I mean, it's hard to tell Polish. I really can't tell how to pronounce the names. And he likes her. I mean, I love a girl or woman in uniform, or out of uniform, quite frankly. But they kind of just are at odds. She's more of, a seasoned cop, even though she doesn't look much older than him. And being the rookie, he notices suddenly there are these two weird bulbous creatures, like, these weird guys that got all these sores on their faces. They're the guys from the first movie, by the way, just in case. Again, you don't think that this could be possibly tied to Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight. They only add a 2 at the end. That's creative. It's clearly a different movie, except it's not a different fucking movie. It somehow manages, again, to be worse than the first one. And also Zoza, who was the only survivor of the first one. Again, sorry, spoiler alert. And through a series of events, basically, the sergeant, such as he is, even though he's not, I don't know how the fuck he managed to rise to the rank of sergeant, because I guess Polish, cop, standards aren't very fucking high. They just let any old hack be a goddamn, sergeant and be a goddamn cop. Well, he ends up taking, Zoza to the crime scene to tell, it's like, hey, figure out, tell me exactly what happened. We have all these pictures up on the goddamn thing, but I'm going to take you back to where these traumatic events happened, where you managed to escape, and let's go through this stuff. Well, in the first one, there was a meteorite that would, excrete or secrete black goo or whatever. When you secrete black goo, always consult your medical professional at your local medical facility for, possible sores and anal bleeding. What? Wow. So she ends up kind of getting fried by this shit, and then shit be going south right after that. And shit is the operative word, because this movie is utter dog shit. Cinderella was my worst movie of the year until this. This somehow managed to just absolutely, it somehow managed to be worse than the first one, while simultaneously grossing me out more, because I don't get grossed out by gore. I mean, whatever, like, they tried to go more the comedy route here, because they tried to do comedy in the first one and it wasn't very good. And the comedy in this one was worse. It's like they basically just phoned the fucking shit in. They're like, okay, We're contracted to make another one. We're trying to make this, a long-running franchise. I'm not going to be surprised if they do a third one, which I will watch and inevitably probably hate. But what ends up happening is you get a smaller collection of people trying to stop these events happening at this camp. And it's almost like the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 thing where they were filmed back-to-back, so I could actually see them doing that with the third one. Adam and Vanessa and these two goddamn hicks that I swear were the same guys, just out of the makeup. I swear they were the same guys. If they weren't, then, well, they're close enough for rock and roll. You could do the whole Spider-Man meme thing. Fusion dance, fusion, ha! So, from there, we get particular stuff that ends up being a bit gross out. And I mean, not that I was necessarily sickened, but I was just like, okay, this was unnecessary and stupid. And why are these characters doing this stuff? Why did that guy think that bear trap was a good idea? What the fuck is going on? Why did they feel the need to do that particular scene? If you've seen the movie, you know, but spoilers be coming up here in a bit. I hate it. I absolutely hate it because characters were dumb and bad at everything, and there was absolutely no reason for this movie to exist. There was really no reason for the first movie to exist, but okay, everybody's got to try different things, and you could try a little comedic wrong turn stuff, even though the wrong turn movies were pretty much just comedic as it is. This sequel had no right to exist, and basically was a concept. They could have just said, hey, nobody sleeps in the woods tonight, plus 30 minutes, because you could have done all this in 30 minutes and saved us a goddamn hour. A lot of it was slow-mo and a whole bunch of other shit and a whole bunch of bullshit. It was crap. It was absolute goddamn shit. One of the worst movies that I've seen of the last 10 years, of the last 15 years as it is. And sure, the girl who played Zosa, she was also in All My Friends Are Dead. She seems like she's a good actress, like she can do something, and she's starring in stuff like this. Maybe this appeals to people in Poland. I don't know. Is anybody from Poland watching this? Please let me know in the comments. I don't mean to insult the Polish people or Poland in general. I just don't see how this can translate to an American audience. And I watched it with English subtitles because I like to watch stuff in the original language, but it was just so goddamn dog shit. Let's get into spoilers right now. There will be spoilers here. Spoilers. Okay, so the whole meteorite thing transforms Zosa, and she goes all mutated and spoopy and rips people's guts out and cuts this one, cuts the sergeant in half, and then ends up killing a whole bunch of people. The few people that there are. She beheads one woman at some point, and then also reaches through, grabs the heart out and grabs the guts out and stuff like that and everything. It was like Satan's Little Helper. And now I hate this movie even more for reminding me of Satan's Little Helper. Thank you very much, Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight 2. I'm going to take those thoughts out of your head with a fucking spoon. So anyway, Vanessa ends up running away, and she basically sacrifices Adam. He ends up getting mutated by Zosa, and then they speak this alien language, because I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. So that's what the meteorite was. It was a piece from the dark side of the moon. That damn Pink Floyd album continues to haunt us. And then what basically ends up happening is they kill this one guy. It turns out it was a shopkeeper that had abused his dog earlier, so no big loss there. Guy looked like a fucking Easter Island statue. But, oh, goddamn. At one point before that, these two comic goofs that, again, were the guys out of the makeup, the hillbilly guys, they had swastikas in their goddamn little trailer and also on their jackets, because I guess some people in Poland just identified with the fact, of the invading force. They killed a whole bunch of people and overtook their country. Good job there, you dumb fucks. And then what ended up happening is this guy ends up getting his hands cut off in a bear trap, because apparently nobody understands how to operate bear traps. I don't. That's why I stay the fuck away from them. So he dies. Now other people die. And then we get and I'm not kidding, I'm not fucking kidding when I say this. When I saw this, I was actually baffled. While Vanessa is calling for help from the special forces that are eventually going to come, because I guess Poland has special forces, a SWAT team, da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't actually remember how to say the goddamn theme because the SWAT movie was shit. But we get this Zosa and Adam as weird alien gargoyle boiled things having a sex scene. Thank you, Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight 2. You somehow managed to make Polish alien monster sex unsexy. Always delete your search history. Don't ask me how I know that, but who asked for this? Who wanted to see that? Genuine question. Who wanted to see that? Like, I don't mind doing stuff where like, oh my god, that's so shocking. I got to keep watching where this is going. Like, no. Why are we doing this? And the makeup effects look great in the dark. Once you got them into the light, it's not that they were necessarily bad. It's not even that they were cheap. They were just basic. So basic. Such a basic bitch. And they fall in love with each other, but then he won't kill the woman that, was the cop that was verbally abusive to him. So Zoza rips off his face and yells at him and basically says, okay, we freed these guys, I'm leaving. And then she gets run over and evaporated seemingly by the SWAT car. He gets arrested, and then the mutant guys blow themselves up in the goddamn, police station with a grenade. I really hope that means that that's going to be it, but then we get a mid-credits sequence. They're experimenting on the guy. Are they going to get him ready for the Nemesis program? Are we going to get Mila Jovovich in here? Please get somebody in here that actually has some star power. Please get some competency in here. If you're going to continue this franchise, get something good. My fucking goodness, this was utter worst movie of the goddamn year. Fucking hate it. Couldn't fucking believe it. I was actually baffled that it was as bad as it was. Anyway, yeah, it gets an F. It gets an F in case you didn't figure it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.